Let's begin with this one because I think it's very interesting. You have some interesting ideas of what you think might likely be happening. Gold Reef came up with a cautionary, and almost at the same time we saw also a cautionary from Hosken, which led the market to speculate that potentially we could have M&A activity here, and so we saw Gold Reef leaping up 10%. What's your take?
Yes, Sir Godfrey, I think that it's not coincidental that we have two simultaneous cautionaries there. We've seen a build-up in stake by HCI of 25% shareholding in Gold Reef, which is equivalent to about 34% in a voting stake. This has happened because the Austrian operators have exited South Africa. They were in casinos, I think, and made the Crocs have immigrated. I think they hold still around about 20 to 25% odd. Right. Over the last year, we've seen a build-up by HCI into Gold Reef.
Okay, so potentially you think here HCI may be about to take out Gold Reef?
I would think so. I think it would be a share swap then. Okay. You have to go through various regulatory bodies, the gambling bodies and the provincial bodies. We might find that they're going to have to exit some of their smaller casinos, because in the Gauteng area they'll have a 50% interest via Gold Reef City itself in the south of Joburg and Monte Casino. There are interesting connotations also in the Western Cape, where you have Grand Parade Investments, which is part of another large group, Sun International, who lose the exclusive rights very late in 2010. That would then be an opening for expansion into the lucrative Western Cape market.
Yeah, it sounds like there's going to be quite a bit of activity going on around here if it pans out the way you're looking at it. But you're also seeing a bigger strategy at play. You potentially are telling me you are seeing the possibility that this may be SAB trying to extricate itself from its casino assets that it acquired like years ago.
I would think so.
Just explain that how it's all linked to the Gold Reef.
What happened many years ago, Southern Sun were listed as a pure hotel group. They then became delisted. They got BE credentials via HCI. What we are seeing now is global asset managers benchmarking various firms like a firm like SA Breweries against their peers, Anheuser-Busch and the like. Breweries is the only one to have, as far as I know, hotel and casino interests. It's a matter of exiting. Exiting is all a question of price.
Sure.
Were they to get the right price by a corporate deal, via the unbundling of Tshegoe Sun, taking out simultaneously the minorities of Gold Reef, bundling the hotels together, establishing critical mass in casinos, that would be a nice listing. The price would go up ahead of the euphoria in South Africa World Cup, sure, and SAB could make a very nice exit, a very nice profit.
But just explain for the benefit of our listeners who perhaps don't know where SAB is getting involved in the whole thing. SAB holds Tshegoe Sun, or
that's correct.
Half of Tshegoe Sun.
They have 49%, HCI
of Tshegoe Sun. Okay, so this is where SAB comes into the whole thing.
Right.
Now, potentially, if that then happens, we then see SAB walking away. But then it will lead to the creation or emergence of a larger group now of consolidated assets, as you have been saying. Would that potentially be then Hosken?
That would be, Hosken would then obviously own a very big stake. The important thing, Godfrey, is you're unlocking value from an unquoted investment into a quoted investment. With 350, 400, 450,000 tourists coming to South Africa, and hopefully, if all goes well, we will be getting a lot more tourists after the games. A listing of both a casino and a hotel group with 4 or 5 different brands could create a lot of value in terms of getting a rating in the market versus an unlisted director's rating, create a lot of value for HCI and for shareholders who take up this offer. Hopefully this deal does take place.
And for SAB to walk away as well with a bit of money in their pocket.
Absolutely.
And then continue to sell the beer and the drinks into the casinos.
Absolutely. Boy, that's a very good business model.